Hello and welcome to Rankia YouTube channel. In this video session, I'm going to share with you tips and insights for your Shopify store so that it can take advantage of the latest AI changes. Recently, with 2026 Winter Edition, Shopify introduced great AI features. Whether we're talking about Sidekick that can assist you to maintain your website, or inclusion in Shopify Catalog. So I'll share this link in the video description to be able to take advantage of the latest changes and show up in, let's say, Gemini or Google AI mode or ChatGPT and so on. These are the bare minimums to have on your website. Because then being in the Shopify catalog means that Shopify automatically can display your products when people search, let's say Gemini, ChatGPT, or even AI mode. Shopify simplifies this process, but I'm going to show you what's very important so that your Shopify store stands out above the rest and it ranks higher in Google, in AI mode, and so on. Now we're looking at a test site here, so let's fly through because I've got great tips and insights to share with you. Let's press on settings down the bottom here. And here you want to double check your policies because these are absolutely critical. Once we read through what's going on here, and once we understand how search engines or AI agents work, then we understand the importance of these. Why? Because these are important for your website visitors. And from a legal standpoint of view, it is important for search engines as well. So double check these and make sure they are thoroughly created for your business. And your customer privacy. If you're selling, let's say, in certain parts of the world, let's say in European Union, then your cookie banner has to be in place. Perhaps at this moment you're thinking, okay, you know what, these are basics. I've already got these in place. What can you show me? So let's come out of that. Let's press on products. If you want to take better advantage of AI agents, what you need to do is group your products very precisely. Now I can't tell you what to put here because each Shopify store will be different. Now once you create collections precisely according to your products, that will help you, that will help the AI agents to better understand your website. Then let's take a look at a couple of other things. Let's look at products because I've created a sample product. Let's press on a sample product. The title, description, surely you've already got these in place, but because you've got access to this new Sidekick here, ask yourself, can you improve the description? Can you improve the title? Then you've got this pencil here. The page title by default will be pulled for Shopify Catalog. And it's only in your best interest to include unique meta description. The product URLs have to be meaningful. That's the basis of search engine optimization. Once again, sidekick here is of help to you. Working on many different Shopify stores over the years, I know for a fact that the images are one of the most under-optimized part of Shopify store. In 2026, for AI agents, image optimization is actually very, very critical. That includes the image file name before you upload the image to your Shopify store. At this moment, we don't want to just think about search engines or Gemini, all this stuff, but rather look at the image and ask ourselves, can we include some keywords? Yes. And also, can we describe what someone is seeing on this image? Many years ago, when I started creating search engine optimization related tutorials, I've said, you know what, the way that I think about it is that I imagine a blind citizen in front of me, a blind citizen who's visiting my store, and since they can't see the image, what words can I use to inform that blind citizen as to what that image is showing? In the sample example, it's weatherproof commuter bag. But the alt, as we can see, Shopify makes it easy because it has analyzed the image. So if you want to save time, you can actually copy paste and double check and save changes. Meaning, to take advantage of search engines, including Shopify, Gemini, you need to double check your images. Also, most Shopify store owners make an honest mistake by just uploading a very large image. But sometimes your image gallery area doesn't need a huge sized image. You need to find a balance because user experience is important for search engines. So if your image is, let's say, 2000 pixels wide, that's a heavy image. So you may say, okay, you know what, can I resize the images? Now, that coupled with image file name and alt text will ensure that your website, as in your store, is prominently understood by search engines. Yeah. Collections, yes, precise. You create collections and feature them on some parts of your website. You can do manual collection or smart collection, that really doesn't matter. What matters is the creating different collections. Let's say you've got latest 2026 new product range. We can say new product range or best sellers, whatever it is, precisely group them because they work like categories. Then your products, title, description, images, absolutely critical. For agentic superstores, what's important is how you organize your products, right? So let's imagine add collection. We can add a new collection and say, okay, you know what, that's a weatherproof in this basic example. And describe the collection too. That's very important too, because people read when they visit. You can add an image. Remember, although we can use AI tools at times it's smart to have unique content for different parts of your Shopify store. That includes collection. Okay, so let's save changes. As an example, because we could create the collections from here, or we could do it from here. Now that's available there. Then what's important is add more tags, at least 4 or 5 of them. What is this about? But when you add tags, surely, let's say in this example, let's say backpack. That's one. Let's add another one. At this moment, you need to think as to pieces of information search engines can evaluate. Alright, let's say durable straps as an example. But as you add these pieces of information and then save changes to your products, what will happen is the Agentic Catalog will pull that information, because it's going to look at that information and it's going to better understand your products. What else can I show you? Let's press on settings, and let's imagine this scenario. Your meta fields and meta objects. Let's imagine for products, let's add one, and let's say for AI underscore, let's say for AI user agents, let's say title, and then let's say select type, single line of text. Let's keep it simple. Let's save changes. Now let's go to Shopify Catalog mapping. This is the URL pattern. You simply change the store name for your store. Actually, before we do that, let's go to products. Let's look at this one. Now we created that meta field that's available for us here. That means you can show a title that's a little bit different to the website visitor, so what they see is different. And you can even use the sidekick now and say provide title for this product as an example. Let's see what it generates. It looks at the product details and says, okay, this is the title. Can it generate a different one? Would you like yes, or suggest an alternate? Yes, let's do that. I'm just showing you how you can take advantage of this. And let's just do something like this. If you've got thousands of different products, this method may not be ideal. Okay, let's save changes. But if you've got, let's say, up to 20 or 50 products, then you can maybe use this method. And then with the Shopify Catalog mapping, you can actually say, okay, for you show that title in your Shopify Catalog. Let's save changes. Now it may warn me and say, you know what, you may have some products that doesn't have information for that title, and this is the one that we don't have that information. Okay, so we can just say sample as an example. Now that's a title for AI user agents, which includes AI mode, ChatGPT, Gemini, and so on. So when they analyze the Shopify catalog, they will see that information that you provided. Okay, let's close all the ones left. So let me wrap it up. In terms of search engine optimization for ChatGPT or Google Gemini or AI mode, look at your settings and absolutely triple check your policies and customer privacy section. Then what we can do is we can use the Sidekick feature, 2026 new feature here. It not just for products but for anything on a Shopify store. Then our sales channels. Alright, this is a test site. Obviously we can let Shopify manage it for us. Yeah, they've got this new app that you may want to use, but it's not required. If you're running Google Ads, be very thoughtful using this. Okay, where are we? Let's go back home. Let's get the Agentic. Here, once everything is working correctly, you'll see more details. Surely, we need to read through the terms and conditions, obviously. We need to understand the requirements. Then, remember the importance of precisely categorizing your Shopify store. And then, your products, ask yourself, can you optimize it? Because you need access to the Sidekick. That includes the description, the title, and most importantly, image file name and alt text. Also, don't just rely on the auto-generated alt text. Ask yourself, okay, can you do a better job? If your images are too large, find a sweet spot in terms of image size. Because as far as I'm concerned, that's a very large image still. You may get away with, let's say, 1200 pixels max. That will take care of almost 99% of devices people use to browse the internet. Whether it's Google TV, whether it is smartphones, laptops, and so on. Because if we have a very large image, that's just for, let's say, Google TV. We don't want that. Or that's just for large desktop monitors. We want to find the balance. Then remember, how you organize your products will make a difference in terms of showing up in Gemini or ChatGPT. Then tag them correctly, add more tags, up to 5 you can get away with. Just because you can add more doesn't mean you should. 3, 4, 5 is reasonable. Precisely create collections. If you add different types whereby you can, then definitely use that. And then through your settings, or even through here, but I tend to think it's much easier to use the settings meta fields and meta objects, because then you can add different ones. You can add new fields. You can even do that for description as well. Let's say for AI description. And then select multi-line text. Okay, let's do something like this. I'll show you what that is all about. As you can see, if you were to add description, because you can, then you want to provide a bit more information in a more, think of it as chunks. One line is talking about the additional features that you may not be able to show to the front-end visitor. But using these methods, you can show different information that's more meaningful for AI user agents, which is Googlebot Extended and so on. Okay, so follow these insights, and I promise you, your products will show up more prominently in Gemini, in Google AI mode, and I can basically guarantee that to be the fact. If you want to see more Shopify related videos, simply comment on this video session. I thank you for learning with Rankia, and I'll talk with you in the next video session.